Yo, I want to talk about Tryndamere, his builds and runes. So, before we even start, I want to point out a very important thing. The Stride Breaker changes, even though these are just bug fixes, some of them, it's still something that's very important to watch out for. So, passive movement speed is applied as soon as you deal damage instead of after a short delay, and now functions even if the damage is shielded, right? Which is a very important thing because sub-champs like Ribbon, as my current matchup, can shield itself, right? Active movement speed now properly decays over the full duration of 3 seconds instead of decaying to 0 over 1.75, so it should provide more mobility than before. Also notably, active movement speed now displays buff on the icon for its duration. Now this is the more important thing as often people can randomly shield themselves, and it's like sometimes you may just not get it that proper um, speed up, which you really need into a matchup like Ribbon. Now, in these days, I actually did go for this Conqueror. I'm just kind of like limit testing it because Little Tempo got recently nerfed and it doesn't really feels to be bad in the early game. Generally speaking, Little Tempo is very fitting. Like, I don't say that Little Tempo is like not good or anything, but it got recently nerfed a little bit, and I was a bit concerned, so I was just like trying it out, I'm not even saying like Conqueror is 100% better. I'm just saying it feels to be quite nice, I'm even choking on basic there, but it feels to be quite nice because like Tryndamere does get some extra AD from his Q and his Conqueror, which allows you to crit even harder of the passive, right? So you gotta remember that crit really scales with AD, and Yuri has like a high AD ratio as well, so that Conqueror is not necessarily bad. I'm not sure what to tell you guys because like in these days Little Tempo still gives range, it still gives attack speed, and later on of course it will, in the later parts of the game, it will provide you more attack speed than before. But it's like in the early game it's a bit cutted, so maybe in some matchups it's worth to occasionally try the Conqueror out. It didn't feel to be bad this game nonetheless. But let's keep things a bit forward because in here not much will happen. Some zoning, some trading, some whatnots, but not much will happen. I will get a CS advantage, I still have a kill. There will be a monkey fight in here, and sadly he gets caught, but I will get the assist, I mean. And as I said, I will get the assist because Anime just kinda took the kill, which is whatever. It's at the end of the world. We're just gonna skip a teens a bit forward. Obviously, we're gonna rush Kraken because that's your generic thing that you should get on Tryndamere. I wanted to actually slow push, but I pushed too quickly, slow push into the next wave. But even so, it should be fine. It's just a bit lucky to last hit these minions, but I think it should be fine because they actually got out of the tower's range. So we still get to like short short push and short trade a little bit to her. Now in here it's very simple. What we do is it's on the like back of a teensy bit, Rika gets that berserker creeps. It's really good into a champion that has no boots yet, and some extra attack speed, some extra mobility is highly valued against a champ like Ribbon. So let's keep a teensy bit forward until something actually happens besides like CSing trading and whatnot. So I can actually like show off the power of this setup. So again, we have Conqueror, we have boots finished, we have some attack speed here and there, we do have some AD right in our kit, and Conqueror also does scale up similarly to, of course, to Little Tempo. We can see like it can provide 1.7 AD, which does actually progressively scale up higher and higher. And so in here we do these void grabs, but we do get collapsed on sadly by Graves, and he decides that he will burn his Yomus, he will burn his R and all that, but he still doesn't get to disengage from me, and we can see like my basic attacks are not the fastest because I don't really, again, I don't really have like Little Tempo, but I did have Conqueror for some extra damage, and the early game it didn't feel to be bad against even in that all-in, but again, like probably like Little Tempo would do something similar. I would say like scaling wise, definitely on Tryndamere it would be better, that extra range, that extra attack speed. I would say later on it definitely scales better than before. It just early on it didn't feel to be bad Conqueror, but probably like, I'm not sure after nerfs how does like Little Tempo even like function, because attack speed is certainly lower than it was before, but and then often you don't really reset in the early game your spin. That's what I'm thinking of, like attack speed definitely helps to reset your spin, maybe shove a teensy bit the wave, but it doesn't really like helps with like resetting your E in lane, but it still helps in all lanes quite a lot, especially the range, because people can't really kite you around the tower, which is a really big thing. And I'm still thinking it between Conqueror, a little bit in between Little Tempo, like which one is the better one because of the recent nerf. I didn't try it out yet, of course, the new Little Tempo. I was just a bit concerned about it, and I was like, yeah, let's just give it a shot, you know. Let's just give it a shot. We could just like try it for one game, you know. Um, but basically in here not much will happen soon. We'll actually finish destroying this tower, you know. We forced her to recall now. Yeah, all entire we forced her to recall. We didn't really like dive in, of course. Like I can even show you guys the situation itself, which is really important to watch out for, I would say. Then here I just basically like traded into her, forced her to recall. We're just gonna go back at the exhibit in here, you know. Basically in here I went in and I forced her to recall. I didn't really wanted to commit that I had no R, of course, I would just basically die. But we forced her to recall, which was actually just good enough, you know, to make her recall. We get her whole plated tower. But let's get forward because in here we don't really have Kraken yet, we don't really have anything yet. So at this point we do have 4k gold actually, that's how greedy I was. Right? Now we skip a bit forward, let's get to the stride breaker point. We do have Tiamat that helps us to push the wave. We already destroyed the tower. In here I wasn't going too deep, of course, and we do actually push waves quite quickly with Tiamat. They definitely help you to push waves. It gives you actually a conqueror stack. That's the good thing about Tiamat and stride breaker, the same. But let's skip forward at easily when we do finish our. So we have actually both. We are at the power spike level, right? So we do have stride breaker, we do have Kraken. That's insane, right? And so in here I do actually force a all-in into Minio, but sadly he just does that, and I couldn't get more kills. They're so quick, like it's unreal. But this is where the fun part begins, really. Because now no one can side lane into me, so the issue is I already have a W that's annoying for even due to the damage and the slow. But we also have a side breaker, so that's like very hard to play around. I mean, look, the speed is way nicer than before, of course, right? It got bug fixed, and it works through shields as well. She will quite often, you know, when you spin in often, you press side breaker, and it's bad if she ease it, you know. That can be like very bad, but look, she has a very spammy kit now. She has some cooldown, of course, and you can see full cooldown items. She has a decent amount of cooldown, 58, right? And she can spam those abilities non-stop to escape. But the issue is that now I have a W, now I have a stride breaker that slows, and she can't really escape me, right? Like she can't even escape me. The stride breaker gives me a decent amount of like wave clear. It also allows me to collapse way better on champions, you know, like Twisted Fate or whatnot. So it also like gives you some extra allowance to chase others. And it maybe in 1v2 scenarios it sometimes helps you to disengage against like 2 melee champs, let's just say it, you know. They can be definitely useful. In here I panic R because like I thought they're gonna one shot me or something, so I was like, yeah bro, I'm not gonna just risk it. But in here we can heal fully, so I'm not recalling, because if I'm full HP Riven can't realistically beat me. I'm just way above her, so if I press W correctly when she tries to ult me, she's not really supposed to kill me. Because I can like at most I can like heal up fully, and shouldn't really be a big concern to fight her. And in here basically you can dive anyone in the enemy team, it doesn't matter who they send towards you to defend. It's very risky for them to just, you know, just randomly leave this bot open. We push. We do spin out actually, and and then what happens is very simple. We just walk into this bush, and we're just gonna skip forward a bit. Basically I'm looking to collapse on even when she oversteps this price breaker. We can really easily do that, you know, with W, but she walks upwards, you know. I spotted her on this ward, and now it's very simple what we do, of course. It's like clear these minions, you know, and keep more pressure on the side lane. Graves is then my team is up to doing Baroness, they should, and my goal is very simple, you know. I won lane, I won the game right now. This is how I generate. Like you can definitely team fight. I don't say you cannot team fight with this setup, but it's very consistent if you play for towers. If you dive, people get your towers, you know, set up pressure on the map. So this is like a very recommended, very consistent way of earning gold. of carrying a game. I mean, look at my current gold, right? Just of the tower, just of the minions, and your point is often to end the game as well, and this way you're gonna end the game way faster, you know? It's not like you wouldn't be useful in team fights with this build, like you wouldn't be useless, you're really good at getting picks as well on occasion, but mainly you wanna steal like side lane against a hard stumped opponent like Ribbon, right? Now in here I do recall, you know, I do buy the Navari. Navari is super good. I mean, we already have Stride, we already have W. Navari gives some extra stickiness, some extra spin reset. Now maybe Callbreaker could be considerable, or perhaps I is generally not that good these days though. That's the truth. That's the truth, of course. But I'm just kind of like low-key considering it, because Stride often gives you enough chasing power and W. So maybe something more offensive instead of like extra stickiness would be interesting to have. Because the point of Navori is mainly to have some extra stickiness. It gives some extra spin damage, but that's often whatever. So I was like considering something else, but Navori is fine, you know, like Navori is always gonna be good as a third item. But basically, I mean basically this spin like reset is very good DPS wise as well, right? So it's just overall a good item, the third item. Like this never really goes wrong if you go for this build basically. And in here, you know, I'm not even bothering about like team fighting, not one bit, because in here if Riven is not here or if Riven is here, it doesn't really matter. I end the game regardless. So basically they have to send two people, but then they are in an awkward situation because if two people have to defend me, often I still gonna get one kill and maybe even disengage with Ghost. But it's like it's very unstable to defend into me, but then they don't have people to defend these two structures, right? So that's you just wanna create pressure, you wanna create an awkward scenario for the enemy team. Now in here I overforced a little bit. Sadly I got stunned and I got like gold carded, so I basically got shit on in here sadly. So that was a bit of a bummer. But anyway, it does pick up the inhib and it should be fine at most. It's just like that was a bit of a overforcing, I would say. But anyway, happily, right, got out. And we're gonna skip a teensy bit more forward to see what I'm doing, right? Like we go back to Tryndamere. So I'm still dead apparently. That's fine. We're gonna be alive soon. And again, like you could not be bothered about like team fighting at most. Just because like you've been so hard to side laning scenario. So pretty much I'm CSing for Heartbreaker right now. Soon I'm getting very soon I'm having Heartbreaker, and basically you just end the game, you know. Like basically you cannot be too much be bothered about like, you know, things. And look at Riven, right? Like she has even more cooldown. She spams her abilities non-stop. She dashes through walls non-stop. And she's really hard trying to escape, but I do slow her. Then I slow her again because I know she will spin away. I mean dash away. And now guess what happens? My W is up. And then I have a spin. I hold into spin in case she jumps through the wall, and I basically attack her to that, you know. But she could then jump through this wall, and then I'm again in a shitty spot because she basically jumped through the wall, right? But this is good, you know, this is definitely like super great. Because now my spin is resetted, I get the push to save real quick and the game in no time. And the good thing is my team is also winning, so basically if you're winning your lane, I just like very simple rule you can give your side lane. Just at most side lane, you know. If you can, you know, if it's like free to side lane. So this game was basically over, guys. I played this in like Master plus 300 LP. On this account, of course, I'm playing bunch of things. But basically, it's a Master 300 plus LP. I don't have a final opinion yet about Conqueror. I would just say maybe try it on your own self if it feels to be like um very bad lethal tempo. I didn't try it out yet myself, I would say. So maybe just try it out yourself. I will try out lethal tempo soon to see how shit it is. Maybe I got a little bit biased and I insta switch to Conqueror. I'm not sure, to be honest. But early on it definitely hurts. The Conqueror changes 100%. But yeah, that's it for now, guys. And have a nice day. And make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to see further more top lane educative content. So that's it for now, guys. Have a nice day.